Welcome to the Robertson County High School Football Show with your hosts, Robertson County Connection sports reporter David Wilson and Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. The Robertson County High School Football Show is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Thomas Drugs. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all of their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or interested in taking out a loan or mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor needs. Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are David Wilson and Brady McAtamney.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the Robertson County Football Show. I'm your host, David Wilson, sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection, joined as always by Main Street Media's sports editor for Clarksville, Brady McAtamney. Brady, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Probably better than you're doing with a tough weekend for the Braves. Of course, they can still salvage things for you, but I know you're probably not feeling great.
No, I'm not feeling good at all. It was rough Saturday for me as a Braves fan, as a Notre Dame fan, just back to back. You know, they were in the same time window. So I was watching one on my phone, one on the TV, and I was just so disgusted that I didn't even want to come out of the house on Sunday. So it was a tough weekend for me, but I know we want to talk football here on this show, and particularly Robertson County. So I have a feeling where you want to start, but let's do it.
That's right. It's time to talk Yellow Jackets. Springfield beat Hunters Lane 14-7, and our Springfield High School football segment is brought to you by Countryside Outdoor Powered Equipment in Springfield. They are a one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Stop by and see their inventory or give them a call at 615-384-7660. Springfield clinched a playoff berth and a road win over Hunters Lane. How were they able to do it?
Yeah, it was a big win for Springfield going on the road to Hunters Lane on Thursday night in a rainy Nashville. It was pouring cats and dogs out there. So it was super wet conditions, but they were able to get the win and clinch a playoff spot in their region that features some really talented teams. Henry County, Beach, and Hendersonville are in the top three slots. So it was important for Springfield to get this win over Hunters Lane and get that tiebreaker if it did come into effect. It was a back-and-forth game. It was a true battle on both sides of the ball. As I mentioned, wet conditions all the way around. Both teams really struggled to pass the ball. Maybe Hunters Lane with a little bit more success through the air than Springfield, but Springfield stuck to his identity of trying to run the football with Hurst, with Cobbins, with quarterback Parker Betts. And, you know, the difference in this game was Springfield's defense. They were able to force 4 turnovers, interception by Hayden Reynolds, interception by Clarence Cobbins, interception by Timothy Bush, and they were also able to recover a fumble on a kickoff as well. So 4 turnovers were the difference in this game. Springfield defensively being able to hold up and limit that Warriors offense to just 1 touchdown drive that came in halfway through the fourth quarter. And then on offense, it was really murky. Springfield really struggled to move the ball throughout the game. Their touchdown came from freshman Cameron Wilson. He had a 12-yard run to get the Yellow Jackets on the board in the second quarter. And then in the fourth quarter early on, it was Clarence Cobbins again. We talked about him all year long. He's been Main Street Media's Player of the Week for the Mid-State 2 times this year, again with his performances against Station Camp and Portland. This week, he was big again in their clinching win. He had a 52-yard touchdown run to really be the game winner in this game. So he's such a fantastic player. I know he's a senior who's been doing it all year long and throughout his entire career up there at the Nest with Springfield. Dustin Wilson talked about that post game. He finds a way to make plays in those big time matchups, and that's what big time players do. So he's worthy of all the recognition that he gets in our area, and we're looking forward to seeing what college schools jump on him because he's a really talented player that can do it in all 3 phases. But they'll be off this weekend. They'll have the bye as Robertson County schools are out for fall break. But it was a big-time win for Springfield. They'll match up most likely to get that 4th spot in this region, so they'll have to go on the road to the Memphis area, still looking for our winner and see who that matchup will be down there. But for this team to get back to 500 this week, they're 4-4 now. Just a testament to their coaching staff and their players to continue to work and buy in. Dustin Wilson has really challenged this group. Their schedule is very unforgiving. They play really tough teams, and that's just Dustin trying to prepare his team for the rigors of playoff football. They've been there and done that before. The last 2 years, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. Anytime you play Henry County, we saw that they can put up points this weekend. Anytime you play Beach, who Springfield will play in the coming weeks, we know they can put up points. And, they traveled to face Centennial as well, a really tough team. They went on the road to face Clarksville, who Brady, undefeated this year, one of the darlings of the Mid-State. They've absolutely dominated their opponents this week. So Springfield has been battle-tested and proven. It will help them as they make these stretch run to the playoffs. So glad to see they clinched really deserving staff and a really deserving team, Brady.
Yeah, let's move on and talk about the Greenbrier Bobcats. Of course, John Elmore's crew lost 35-0 against Pearl Cone. Our Greenbrier High School football segment is brought to you by Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or are interested in taking out a loan or mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Visit their branch in Greenbrier or give them a call at 615-847-4043. David, what happened in this one?
Yeah, I mean, think about that. If you're from the Greenbrier perspective, you have a big road win last week 2 weeks ago over White House Heritage. You get the 27-15 win on the road against a Robertson County rival, and you return home to face Main Street Media's, Brady, you do a great job with the poll. The number one team in the Mid-State, Pearl Cone, they've been clicking all year long. There's so much firepower, like the pun there, on that team. They've beaten 2 private school powers in NBA and CPA this year. They had averaged 55 points a game in region play, and Greenbrier was able to hold them to just 35 points. That's their lowest mark in region play this year, their lowest mark since week 2 when they went on the road to play CPA. So John Elmore's group, they battled all night long, and I was talking to the staff there and the great media people with the voice of the Bobcats. Greenbrier hung in there all night long, and they really played some of their best football of the year despite the result. We all know that Pearl Cone is on a quest to get back to Chattanooga and compete for a state championship. They have all the talent to do it on both sides of the football. So impressed with Greenbrier's resolve in this result. Like I said, it's tough anytime you face a talented team like Pearl Cone, no matter the location, even though this was senior night in Greenbrier. Testament to that crew for standing up. Nolan Carson, Travaris Flood, those guys worked their butts off to compete night in and night out. So tough result for them. They'll look forward to their last couple games in the year, playing Creekwood, playing Montgomery Central, both winnable games for the Bobcats. That will be the favorite in those matchups. I don't think they have the opportunity to make the playoffs. Just they're on the outside looking in. They would need a lot of things to happen. I don't know if they're mathematically eliminated yet. I'll have to go check that for you guys. But, not a playoff year for Greenbrier. They've been battling injuries all year long, ever since the opening snaps at Springfield at week 1. In that game, they lost 3 offensive linemen who were banged up. Nolan Carson, their quarterback, has been injured several times this year. So just unfortunate circumstances for a really talented team that, fights you night in and night out. John Elmore's group is really bought in. So tough result this past week against Pearl Cone, who we'll be talking about all year long on their quest to make it back to state. But got to be impressed with their effort and resolve this week, Brady.
Yeah, let's talk Patriots, who defeated Stewart County 41-6. Our White House Heritage High School football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. White House Heritage secured a Region 6 3A winner-take-all matchup with Fairview with their win over Stewart County. Who exploded for this very successful Patriots offense?
Yeah, Scott Murray's offense is one that you're very familiar with his time at Clarksville Academy. He's able to put points up on the board. Last year at Clarksville Academy, had DJ Merriweather, the quarterback position, who was a Mr. Football guy up in that area. So their offense is led by his son, Xavier Murray. He was 6-6 passing this past week for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's really been one of the best quarterbacks in Robertson County all year long. he's really been able to produce and put points up on the board for White House Heritage. So, he has been great, phenomenal all year long. Adrian Bonilla has been a great breakout candidate in Robertson County this year. He's a senior tailback for White House Heritage. He had 22 carries on Friday night for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then Dason Springer through the air at the wide receiver position had 3 receptions for 95 yards and the touchdown. Eric Lopez caught yet another touchdown pass. So he scored in every single game since I think it's week 2 or week 1. So he's on a consecutive game streak of scoring the football. So White House Heritage is dynamic in their playmaking, and they really needed this win. They were looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Greenbrier at home. It was a game that they made a lot of mistakes, and Scott Murray had admitted that post-game. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Offensively, they stalled out on drives, and their defense couldn't just make the big play against Greenbrier. So they were able to come back this week against Stewart County, who's they have not won a game yet. Stewart County has not won a game. They've lost every single one. So this was a game that White House Heritage really needed to dominate, and they did, and get their confidence up. So the matchup and the win allows White House Heritage to go on the road the last week of the year on a Thursday night, go on the road to Fairview in what will be a winner-take-all to decide the region championship. That's really going to be a great matchup. These two teams are the cream of the crop in Region 6 3A, so it'll be a battle on that Thursday night. It'll be really a physical game. But just think about the turnaround that White House Heritage has had this year. They only won 1 game last year, and now they're guaranteed a spot on the last week of the year to compete for a region championship. They've already secured a home playoff game. So just a remarkable turnaround for a first-year Scott Murray-led team up there in White House. They really believe in their program, and they're still such a young team. Anytime you got a freshman quarterback, your team is going to develop over the next couple of years and get better. So the sky's the limit for this program. Xavier Murray has been really one of the best quarterbacks in Robertson County all year long. So he's only going to continue to improve and get better. So remarkable turnaround for White House Heritage. They're off this week as Robertson County's schools, as I mentioned, are on fall break. So they'll look ahead to a matchup with East Robertson in 2 weeks on the road. So that'll be a great matchup between two of one of the best teams in Robertson County this year, Brady.
Let's bring it to Chase Brooks' crew, who defeated Troutdale County 35-0. Our East Robertson High School football segment is brought to you by Thomas Drugs and Cross Plains. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. It was a beatdown on Thursday night in Cross Plains as East Robertson broke out of their offensive funk. How were they able to do it?
Yeah, this was the offense that we had saw through the first couple weeks of the year, Brady. Through the first 5 games, East Robertson was averaging over 45 points per game. The last 2 weeks against Smith County and on the road at Westmoreland, they only averaged 10 points a game. So they had been a little anemic offensively. And, this week it all starts with Isaiah Groves. We mentioned his name time and time again. 21 carries for 181 yards this past week. He also had 3 receptions for 114 yards. So 295 yards of total offense for Isaiah Groves, had 4 touchdowns in their 35-0 win. So they were able to do it offensively. That's something that we were really forward to seeing. Just can they bounce back? The last couple of weeks have been tough. Anytime you play football, the road isn't always easy. There's going to be some hiccups along the way. There will be some speed bumps. So I was glad to see that they were able to bounce back this week against Troutdale County. This game was a bigger margin than we had predicted. I know our staff had predicted this game. We all figured that East Robertson was going to win, but the margin of victory was just stifling. We did not see a shutout coming from that East Robertson defense, and they've been great all season long. They have so many guys along their defense that make plays. Dallas Caffrey does not get enough shine. The middle linebacker for East Robertson just continues to make plays. Coming into this past week's matchup against Troutdale County, he had over 71 tackles this year for East Robertson. So he's been a playmaker night in and night out for Chase Brooks' crew. Their defense has really stood up, holding Westmoreland 2 weeks ago to only 12 points and holding Smith County to 14. So their defense finds the way to make plays. We were just looking for their offense to try to bounce back and get out of their funk that they had been in. Anytime you have a freshman quarterback, White House Heritage has one with Xavier Murray, and East Robertson now has one with Kason Young. He's just going to continue to grow and get better and learn on the spot. I feel like he pressed a little bit against Smith County in their loss. You had Friday night rivals there on my TV 30. It was just a grand stage. And sometimes you worry about your younger players in those moments, kind of just making uncharacteristic mistakes and not playing within the confines of the offense. So excited to see his development moving forward. He's a really good player, can really sling the football. So East Robertson, there's no secrets in what they like to do. They like to run the football and get it to Groves, McNeil, and get it on the outside as well. So there was some storylines in this matchup. Senior Elijah Groves, who's committed to Kentucky, did not play in the second half of this matchup, went in at the half and sent out a tweet saying that he was no longer going to be part of the program moving forward. He did delete that tweet later on that night. His status will be one to watch throughout the coming weeks. There will be no game this week as they are on fall break. Chase Brooks was non-committal about his role moving forward with the team, but he did open the door for the possibility to Elijah Groves to return. So we'll monitor that moving forward. Obviously, that was some news that broke in the mid-state. So we'll monitor that moving forward. But despite not having Groves in the second half, Trousdale County got beat down by East Robertson this past week, 35-0. So good to see East Robertson back on the track. They have guaranteed themselves a home playoff game in the coming weeks. Not going to look like they're going to catch Smith County. So East Robertson will be the 2 seed in that region. But good win for East Robertson this past week.
David, we're going to take our first break of the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about Joe Burns and White House.
At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. I'm Brady McAtamney, sports editor, Main Street, Clarksville. That's your guy, David Wilson. He's the sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection. David, we're going to get right back into it here with the Joe Burns Red Devils, who lost to Harpeth 28-0 on Friday night. Our Joe Burns High School football segment is brought to you by Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. Give them a call today at 616-384-3836. Turnovers and missed opportunities were the difference in this non-region matchup. What went wrong for the Red Devils?
Turnovers, Brady, and turnovers galore in Cedar Hill this past Friday night. I just want to mention and just say this first. It was a great atmosphere. They honored Tom Atkins at halftime, had his wife come out as well, and all the former players that were in attendance that played for Atkins during his 29-year stint on the sidelines at Joe Burns. He's a class act. They were giving his accomplishments at halftime, over 195 wins, 2 trips to a state championship. So it was well-deserved, the recognition that he got in front of the faithful on Joe Burns at Friday night. And it was just really kind of disappointing to see the result. You know, they really deserved the win in the atmosphere for what the occasion was. Harpeth beat them 28-0, and turnovers were the story in this matchup. Amari Cotton had 3 interceptions, and then Malachi Rivera had a fumble as well. So 4 total turnovers. And really, Joe Burns had all the momentum at the beginning of this game. Harpeth offense could not get anything going through the first couple series, just 3 and outs. And then, Joe Burns, they were going in to score inside the Harpeth red zone with the game tied at 0-0, had a turnover on downs inside the red zone. I think it was inside the 10-yard line. So couldn't cash in on the points there. Harpeth drives for their first points of the game. They line up for a field goal that is missed, but Joe Burns has a penalty of jumping over the center. That's automatic first down, and then Harpeth is able to cash in a rushing touchdown with Otis LaRouche. So, and then in the second half, granted, we'll scratch that real quick. Joe Burns was down 7-0 with 3 minutes left before the halftime in the second quarter. They're driving, make quick work of the Indians defense, get inside the Harpeth 5-yard line. They have the ball on the floor on 2nd and down, and Malachi Rivera takes the handoff from quarterback Amari Cotton, fumbles it into the end zone, and Griffin Corlew of Harpeth is able to recover the fumble. So just missed opportunities in the first half for Joe Burns to try to change the momentum of the game. And then in the second half, Amari Cotton throws 3 interceptions, and that leads to 21 straight points for Harpeth, and they were just able to run the football against Joe Burns. I think the last 19 plays of the game, in my article, I mentioned that Harpeth just ran the football. They lined up in the I formation, and they fed the fullback, they fed the running back, and they rotated their backs. And Casey Patrick had mentioned to me in coming to the week's preview that Harpeth likes to run the football, and they have a flurry of backs to do it. So Harpeth spoiled the party this past weekend in Cedar Hill, 28-0, and the difference was turnovers. I'm not going to sit here and say, even though it's a 28-0 margin, I'm not going to sit here and say that Harpeth was drastically the better football team than Joe Burns. They allowed them short fields in the second half, and then in the second half, they weren't able to move the football as well as they did in the first half. So just a frustrating effort. Justin Robertson was obviously frustrated just with the lack of focus, maybe offensively, just bad decision-making, and then not big-time players like Rivera, Reed Blumel not making plays in those situations when you need your seniors and all region guys in the past to step forward. So Joe Burns will be off this week, fall break. They'll go back in action against Houston County and Red Bull Springs. But it's just been a tough year. They're on a long losing streak. They haven't won since week 2 of the year. So just a young football team that's still learning how to play football and learning a new system under a first-year head coach. So Joe Burns will look to get back in the win column here in a couple weeks, but just a disappointing effort against a Harpeth team that they could have beat and they matched up well with.
Last but not least, it is the White House Blue Devils. They were on a bye this past week. Our White House High School football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. David, how does White House look in the playoff standings?
Yeah, so this is really interesting in Region 5-4A. We know Pearl Cone and Marshall County are the 2 powers in that region. They currently hold the first and second place spots in that region. We know the top 4 teams will make the playoffs. And so despite White House's 5-2 record, they currently sit in 3rd place in the region standings at 3-2. But here's the cause of concern for White House and the Blue Devils, despite their 5-2 win total. They lost to Station Camp, who currently sits in 4th place at 2-2. We know Station Camp has the tiebreaker. And when I look at Station Camp's upcoming matchups, they play against Creekwood this week, and then they play against Montgomery Central and Whites Creek moving forward. So those 3 are all winnable games moving forward for Station Camp. So I look for them to leapfrog White House into that 3rd spot, and then it's going to be a battle for that 4th playoff spot. White House still has to play Pearl Cone and Creekwood to start the year. Creekwood currently sits at 2-2 as well. So if White House finds themselves to fall against Creekwood on the road, then White House will find themselves on the outside looking in the playoff standings. And so that's really unfortunate for the year that they had to start the year. Like I said, they're 5-2, started off on a long winning streak. And they played great defense all year long. We know their recipe on offense. They like to run the football with Michael Albin, play action pass with quarterback Tanner Hayes. So nervous feelings up in White House for the last couple of weeks of the year. They'll be the only team in Robertson County to play this week. We'll dive into that matchup here in the next segment. But, White House has to look forward to playing Pearl Cone on the road. We know that's going to be a tough matchup. As I mentioned, they're the #1 team in our Main Street Media top 25 poll. So that'll be a tough matchup, and then ending the year with Creekwood. So White House has some nervous feelings going on. Obviously, this week's game against Upperman has no region implications. So I don't see Greenbrier, I don't see Whites Creek, and obviously Montgomery Central hopping them for that 4th spot. So it's going to come down to Creekwood in that last matchup of the year. And if Creekwood can pick up the victory over the Blue Devils, then White House will find themselves outside of the playoffs.
Time to take our second break of the show. On the other side, we're going to talk about that Upperman White House matchup that you just mentioned. Stick around.
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of eco-powered equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One Floor and Home, your local personal assistant when it comes to flooring. We offer a wide range of options, from hardwood to luxury vinyl, carpet to laminate and tile. Our showroom is designed to make your search for the perfect flooring simpler, and our expert team is always on hand to help every step of the way. With our financing options, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com. At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today. Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. This would be the segment where we preview all the games coming up this week, and we are going to do that. It's just going to be a little shorter than usual because only one game in the area this upcoming week. David, break it down.
Yeah, so for the other teams, it's bye. East Robertson bye, Joe Burns bye, White House Heritage bye, Springfield bye, Joe Burns bye. So they'll all enjoy fall break. I know they're going to get back in the film room and the weight room and the practice field to work out things before their playoff runs in their last 2 games of the year. But White House is coming off their bye this past week, and they will welcome the Upperman Bees to town, who also came off a bye. White House is 5-2 on the year. Upperman 7-0. They're ranked number 21 in our Main Street Preps top 25. So Brady, I know you're very familiar with this Upperman team, and it's going to be a really hard task for White House this week as Adam Kane's group comes in. They're 7-0, as I mentioned, and they have a dynamic group on the offensive side of the football. Their offense is eerily similar to White House's. They like to run the football. They got a tailback in Ethan Polk and dual threat quarterback in Bronsden Chaffin, and they've both been able to do it all year long on the offensive end. They combined for 1,142 rushing yards this year and 12 touchdowns. And the quarterback as well, who's a sophomore, also has the ability to pass it. He's 45 of 72 passing for 609 yards and 5 touchdowns. So this game is going to be really difficult for White House. Obviously, Upperman's a really talented team. They're really physical. So I expect this one to be a low-scoring, smash-mouth game. The difference in this game is going to be White House's defense. And White House's 2 losses, they've held their opponents to only 8.2 points per game. In their losses, they've averaged giving up 37 points a game. So White House in their wins holds their opponents to 8.2. Their losses, they surrender 37. That's going to be the difference in a game if they can keep the Bees off the scoreboard. Can Kenny Holt help out Michael Albin on the offensive side of the ball? We know White House likes to run the football. Albin had over 115 yards against Station Camp 2 weeks ago, and he had 30 carries. So White House likes to run the football. But Kenny Holt, who had a great game against Station Camp a few weeks ago, had 3 interceptions on the defensive side of the football, had a 65-yard touchdown reception from Tanner Hayes. Can he provide another boost and another weapon for White House on the offensive side of the football? That'll be the difference in this matchup. White House's defense, can they keep Upperman off the scoreboard or limit their total? And then White House, can they find a way to put some points on the scoreboard and just add some dynamic playmakers and get outside of their normal offense, add some play action pass, add some screens in that matchup. So this will be a good one. I predict in my prediction that this will be low scoring, as I mentioned. I'm going to give Upperman the edge. 24-10 is what I have. I think Upperman stays undefeated and picks up a road win despite going into a tough environment. We all know White House is pesky at home. They're a really tough team to beat there. But I think Upperman can overcome the road environment and pick up a win in a slobber knocker of a game, Brady.
I just like to say real quick, I really like the name Bees. There's a lot of Yellow Jackets out there, and that's a great name too. But Bees is just simple, straight to the point. People are scared of bees, right? I like it. You don't see a lot of bees out there, so I like that a lot.
I think you got some good nicknames in Montgomery County too.
There are some good ones for sure. But we're going to go to our third and final break of the show. When we come back, we're going to get our player of the week from David, so you'll want to miss it.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One Floor and Home, your local personal assistant when it comes to flooring. We offer a wide range of options, from hardwood to luxury vinyl, carpet to laminate and tile. Our showroom is designed to make your search for the perfect flooring simpler, and our expert team is always on hand to help every step of the way. With our financing options, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of Echo Power equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show, where David Wilson is ready to give you his Player of the Week from Week 8 in Robertson County. David, hit us with it.
No surprise on this one. He's been a winner of our Player of the Week award multiple times this year. It's going to go to Isaiah Groves, East Robertson running back, the junior. Just an all-around great performance on this past Thursday night in a win over Trousdale County. 35-0 was the final as East Robertson's offense got right and walloped the Yellow Jackets on Thursday night. Groves had 21 carries for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also had 3 receptions for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. So dynamic in his playmaking ability and his performance on Thursday night. That effort rewards him with our Robertson County Player of the Week award here in Week 8. That'll do it for this edition of the Robertson County Football Show. For Brady McAtamney, I'm David Wilson. We're looking forward to seeing you guys at the fields this upcoming week.
You've been watching the Robertson County High School Football Show with Robertson County Connection sports reporter David Wilson and Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. Read this week's Robertson County Connection for all the latest news about Robertson County High School sports. The Robertson County High School Football Show has been brought to you by Springfield Carpet One, Thomas Drugs, Old Hickory Credit Union, Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment, Select Physical Therapy in Springfield, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Robertson County football.